Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of A New You podcast with Bertina. I'm Bertina, and I will be your host throughout this adventure. A little bit of background on me. I started a business just before COVID hit called A New You Self-Care and Wellness Center, where I hosted workshops, Reiki retreats, Reiki classes, yoga classes in my home. Well, COVID hit, so of course I went virtual. We did a lot of classes virtually, the same thing we did in person. But what I noticed the difference is that self-care became different. We actually began accepting the fact that we needed to slow down a little bit, that we needed to spend some time for ourselves. We needed to take care of ourselves, and that it was not being selfish. It was not being spoiled. It wasn't being anything except for what you needed to be at the moment. So what I thought I would do is just put together a little podcast, just at different times, and maybe have some exercises for you to do during that week, and then give you some books, either where I've got the information from, because you have to credit your sources. Former teacher here, have to do that. And then also just give you some ideas about what to do. Now, these will be posted on my YouTube channel, so please click subscribe below just so that you'll know whenever I send any more of these out. And also, it will help me a little bit. And then I'm also going to be taking your questions. So you can either go to my website, anewuselfcare.com. You can go to my email, anewuselfcare@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, and under both, A New You Self-Care. So I'll take questions and would be glad to answer them here. I would also love for topics if you have something going on in your life and you're looking for something just to kind of help you take care of yourself, have better self-care. Please, 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 just let me know, because I'm here as much as I can. Now, we'll be doing this about once a week, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, due to the fact that I have a full-time job on top of this. So I really want to give you some quality information, but at the same time, give you resources and activities that you can do for a few days at a time. So today's episode, we're going to talk about what self-care is, and then I'll give you some information about how to begin your self-care. So let's look at a definition of self-care. The active practice of accepting yourself, caring for yourself, and encouraging yourself. Right there says a lot. Let's break that down for just a moment. The active practice, which means that you have to set a routine up daily, weekly, depends upon your schedule, but daily would be perfect. A daily self-care ritual. We will be talking more in episode 2 about how to create the so-called perfect one, and you're going to realize in these podcasts there is no such thing as perfect except perfect for you. But the thing is, though, if you do an active practice daily, you get up, maybe you meditate, maybe you go for a walk with your pets or just outside. Maybe you just take those 5 minutes when people are getting on your nerves and just walk away and say, hey, this is my time. I need to be left alone, and this is my time for self-care. That would be simple self-care routine. Another part of self-care, we always think about the spa days and things like that, and that's fine, but that's not always available to everyone. But maybe taking a few moments just to take a baby bath, sorry about that, a bubble bath, and just quieten your mind and let go of what you have to do. Because sometimes just accepting yourself for who you are at that moment is perfect. Another thing with accepting yourself is knowing your positive and negatives. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go screaming either one of them to the whole world on social media. And it's okay if you have friends that you talk with, but just think about this. Think about the fact of how you are when you're at your best. When you're the happiest. When you really know yourself, you really love yourself, you find time for yourself. You realize that it allows you to really live your best life. But now think about the times when you're not your best self. You may be grumpy, you may be jealous, you may be depressed. And guess what? That's part of who you are too. Accepting yourself is really important. You have to know who you truly are, and that's one of the activities we're going to do today. Accepting yourself doesn't mean you have to stay where you are. It doesn't even mean that you have to like an aspect of yourself. You may love an aspect of yourself, and that's wonderful. And that's a step forward into self-care as well. But looking at yourself and knowing that you may allow other people to steal your time, your ritual time, your special time that you're going to do for your self-care. What can you do about that? You may allow people to say things to you to make you feel guilty that you owe them something. No one owes anyone anything. You do things out of kindness and lovingness, but you don't do it because you owe somebody. You also begin to accept yourself and get to know yourself. I will tell you the first thing I want you to do, take out a pencil and paper. The teacher's coming out in me. First thing I want you to do is take yourself on a date. Just go somewhere where you like to go by yourself and see how it feels to be happy. It doesn't have to be somewhere expensive. It doesn't mean that you have to be someone who spends a lot of money. It could be something simple as, what would you want to do on a date with someone? Is it a picnic? Is it a movie? Is it video games? Is it reading books at a bookstore? Go do that and experience that happiness. And set that happiness as a bar for all of your self-care needs. This is how you expect your friends to treat you and make you feel. This is how you expect your family, your significant other, but more importantly, this is how you should expect yourself to treat yourself. Think about all the things that you've said about yourself. Now think about if someone said negative things like that to you. You probably wouldn't be their friend. But you're okay with saying those things to yourself. I'm stupid, I'm lazy, I'm fat, I'm no good, I can't do anything right. Those are thoughts that come and they will go. And don't beat yourself up for feeling those thoughts, feeling those emotions, but kind of decide how you want to take those emotions and change. So how would you decide to quit telling yourself that you're a failure? Well, first of all, make a list of things that you have succeeded on. First of all, you've come here, day one. Now, how do you continue to succeed? Continue to come back. Continue to implement what you're doing, what I ask you to do. How are you a success? You're a human being. You're a nice person. You're kind to people. You do what you feel like is your expectations for your life. Now, the thing is, though, with self-care, you do have to care for yourself. Again, let's go back to the definition. The active practice of accepting yourself, caring for yourself, and encouraging yourself. So it's okay to say no, that you don't want to go out. It's okay to say no, that you don't want to run an errand for someone. It's okay. You don't have to give an excuse. A simple no is all that you have to give. No. No, thank you. We get into these situations where we have to feel like we have to explain ourselves to others, and we don't. A simple no. Now, if you want someone to go on this journey with you, then talk with them and tell them what you are going to do. You're wanting to carve out time each day to take care of yourself. Allow yourself to think about where you want to be in your life and what you can do to strive for it. Ask them to be respectful of your time. If you live with someone, if you have someone who tends to take your time, ask them to respect your time. Help them caring for yourself. Because the more they understand what you're doing and the more that they respect you, the more support they will give you. Now, they don't have to understand exactly what you're doing, and most people won't, and that's okay. But just to understand this is something important to you, and this is something important for you to do. So that is where you see respect. You will start noticing people will go, well, you've changed a lot. Well, yeah, that's kind of the purpose of this, is changing. Sometimes people like you to be miserable, to not take care of yourself, to work all the time, to do things for them, because then you can't think about what you need. And then if you can't think about what you need, then therefore you don't have time to do things for yourself, and you think you have all this time for other people. This is easy if you live by yourself or you have a supporting partner. Let me rephrase, it's easy to a point. Nothing is really easy. But if you have a supporting partner, supporting family members, that does help you on this journey. Now remember that part of this journey is looking at the darkness, the sadness, the negative things that are happening. Instead of beating yourself up about those, think about those as a way for the darkness to see the light. And you're looking for the light. That's all you're looking for. You're taking a moment to just be with yourself. Be in this moment. You may even choose to connect with Source, Universe, God, whatever you want to call it, in these activities. Because self-care can come under multiple things. It can be emotional self-care. We will do exercises on physical self-care. We will look at spiritual self-care, financial self-care, academic self-care. I had to throw that one in there just because can't get rid of me. I feel like you need to learn something for the rest of your life. Also, we were talking about how other people will say that you change and you ask them to respect your time. Well, you need to respect your time as well. Set a timer, stick to it, and turn that cell phone off. Turn that TV off. Take time for yourself. Just start out with 5 minutes. Getting up 5 minutes before anybody else does. And I know that's hard. We want to keep hitting our snooze. I'm probably the worst about that. But just start getting up and we'll go. Just simply go. Some people will notice the changes in you just with 5 minutes, and they may encourage you. Seek those people out, not the ones who discourage you. You will be growing different. You will be growing stronger. And guess what? Every day is not going to be happy, and it's not going to be perfect. We will have relapses back to self-sabotage, self-loathing, all the negative things like that. But guess what? Now you're going to have tools to where you can help yourself pull out of that situation a lot quicker. Now, how is this going to work? I'm going to spend some time in each of the activities, giving you just a little background information. Then I'll post an activity here. I'll discuss the activity. If I take it from a book, I will give you the book title and name so that you can go out and purchase a wonderful book as an author. I simply love helping other authors sell their books, plus being a professor. Plagiarism, we want to make sure we cite our sources. I want you to keep a daily journal. You may do 5 minutes in the morning. You may decide to do 5 minutes in the afternoon. You may decide to do 5 minutes in the evening, or maybe all three. But I want you to get a journal. Now you can go to, I'm going to do some shameless plugging here. You can go to Amazon and get some of my journals. You can look up Bertina Varney and do a search and it will pull it up. But there's some awesome journals at Walmart, on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble. You can even take just a little notebook that we used in school. But I want you to keep a journal. Because with this journal, I want you to really write how you feel. Now, if you feel as if there might be a situation to where there's no privacy, you may decide to write in code. But if you have to write in privacy, you might want to question the relationship. But that might be something you want to question and look at later on. The important thing is to keep a journal, keep your feelings in there. And then as you go along and you have a good day, go back and look at all the progress you've made. And when you're having a bad day, go back and look at all the progress that you had that day as well, because it will show you how hard you have worked, how hard you have changed. This will really, really keep you going on. People tend to start projects like this and quit. We've all done it. But I'm hoping that you will join me on this journey of self-care and kind of, subscribe below. Subscribe below for me to get it to come to you. Get a journal and help move forward. So the first activity I'm going to do comes from the book, kind of from the book, not exactly, but I got the idea from the Self-Love Workbook by Shani Ali, Shainna Ali, and she has PhD after her name, so the Self-Love Workbook. It is a really good workbook. I've taken some ideas from it and used in other classes. It's just really great at having you look at some emotions. So what I would like for you to look at today, and again, you can email me and we can discuss these, or you can attend my self-care class on Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock. It's $10 a class. All you have to do is email me to get the Zoom link. Or if you live in Bowling Green, you can contact me. We are doing a few face-to-faces. So you can share via email. You can share in the self-care class on Thursday at 6 p.m. And you can also join a New You Self-Care group on Facebook and begin to make comments under the post there and just talk about some things. So let's look at our first journals. Who are you? Ha. Thought it's going to be easy, huh? Who are you? Describe yourself. Pretend like I don't know you. I may or may not know you. And just let me know who you are. Now I want you to think about something. I want you to think about who you are, what you think, and what you do affects your thoughts and affects others. So looking at who you are and how your thoughts and actions affect others. Now for this next few days, I would like for you to begin to learn something new about yourself. Now this may be something positive, like I love my eyes. It may be something, I'm not very patient with people. And just simply learn something about yourself. That's it. And another thing I would like for you to do is to be kind to yourself on this journey. What's your words? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying about your life? What are you saying that's bringing the energy around you? And this is just a simple few exercise just to get you started, just to get to know yourself. So I look forward to hearing about who you are, how your thoughts and actions affect yourself, how they affect the people around you. I can't wait till you learn something new about yourself each day and you share them with me. You can share them email or group. And I look forward to when you are a little kinder to yourself. So episode 2, we are going to develop a self-care routine. Something that we can do even if we're on the go, kayaking, camping, going to school, working. Something that we can develop no matter how busy we are. So stay tuned for episode 2. Like me on my social media, A New You Self-Care Facebook group, Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram. The website's the same name as well. And the email is anewyourselfcare@gmail.com. I look forward to this journey with you. And again, please send me any questions or anything that you would like for me to go over. The normal sessions will not be this long. They'll usually be 5-10 minutes long. But this would be something just to kind of introduce you to what we are doing. So, much love to you. And remember to love yourself. Have a great day. And until next time, bye.